Hello, hello. I hope everybody is well. I am coming to you with a different segment than what we usually do right here on the In and Out channel. Usually, I am interviewing local, talented, amazing artists. Today, I wanted to give you a little bit about what I do when I'm not doing the interviews. So what I do is I actually rent space to those amazing, talented people to sell their items. I had a store, and it's like a vendor store where those talented artists they'll rent the space. They decide how much space they actually want to use in order to sell their items. So I wanted to give you guys just like a few tips that will help you if you are thinking about joining a vendor store like mine. So one of the first things that I did for my vendors when they first come in is we will choose the space. And then after we choose their space, and I make sure to let them know that you have to have a business name. So the name of your business is very important because it gives the customer an idea of what it is that you actually do. And you want that name of your business to speak to that craft or whatever it is that you're selling in that store. The next thing that you want to actually be able to do is actually put up a sign for your business with your business name on it. It's very important because it gives the people the visual to letting them know exactly what it is that you're going to be selling. You'll want to make sure that you've got some business cards because that helps if you are one who does custom orders. That way the customer can get in touch with you so that you'll be able to make that custom order for them. It's easier to do that than to have someone like me trying to connect you guys. I'm already like the middleman anyway because I'm actually selling your items for you, but it's easier for that custom order kind of thing to actually be, to connect you and the customer together, is to go ahead and just have those business cards with all of your information, and make sure that business cards has your phone number and your email on there so that they can reach out to you. Once they reach out to you for that custom order, I find that the best way to do that is once you get that order done, is to bring it into that vendor store if they allow you to do that. With my store, In and Out, I actually allow the vendors to bring that item into the store and then have the customer come and pick up that item from the store. That way it creates that foot traffic because you never know. Once they come into the store, they may actually walk around and check out the store and end up coming out with something else that they weren't expecting to find. So you want to make sure that you are fulfilling the needs of the customer, even when they don't even know that you're trying to fulfill more than just that order for them. One of the other things that you want to make sure that you do is you want to make sure that you know what all is expected of you as a vendor. If that means that you have to work the space, or if you can volunteer to work for the space. I prefer volunteers. I don't make it a mandatory thing for the vendors to have to work in the store. It's something that I like to do as a courtesy because you're already dealing with other things, and the reason why you try to get into a store like mine is for the simplicity of it and not having to work it like you have to do with craft shows. So I offer that, as a courtesy to my vendors to be able to just come in, set up your items, and then come and collect that check at the end of the month, and then refill your items as so on if you are selling things. So you want to make sure that you know what the rules and regulations are, because like I said, some places, some vendor stores require you to have to work, while some just prefer volunteers like I do. One of the other things that I want to talk about is you want to be able to be flexible because of the fact that you don't know how well you're going to be doing at the vendor stores. What it is it's an option for you to be able to have more exposure for your business. So you want to be flexible because every day is different and you never know what to really expect. So some days you'll be selling a lot. Some days you won't be selling at all. And it's something that you have to expect because that's business. It's the ups and downs of the business that make it worthwhile in the end when you really are doing quite well. So you want to be flexible in that aspect. And you definitely want to make sure that you have a social media presence. It is so vital these days when you're selling in a vendor store, not to just let the vendor store be the one that is advertising your items and selling your items. You want to make sure that you are causing that foot traffic to come through. So you're the one that's sitting up here telling people where your items are. It's so vitally important to be able to share with your friends and family and the people that the vendor seller may not be able to reach. Because you know a certain population that vendor seller might not know. And it's something that you should be wanting to do because you want to be able to make sure that it is helping to create foot traffic for the store and it's helping you out as a vendor in selling your product. So it is wonderfully important. Those are a few of the tips that I think would be real vital if you are planning on doing a vendor store like mine. Now, if you are actually planning on doing a craft show, I'm going to try to give you some tips for that too as you go forward here with this. I forgot something. So another thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that your items are tagged. Certain vendor stores will give you a vendor number, and that number is specific towards your business. So then that way they know by the end of the month that you how much you've sold for that month. So they'll give you a vendor number. What I require for my vendors is that they put the price on the front and maybe a description, and then on the back, then they put their name, their first name, and then their vendor number. And that helps me as I total up their sales for the month. And so it gives me that flexibility for myself so that I don't have to work as hard to try to figure out who sold this and where did it, what was this item here that I find this tag for and I don't even know whose it is. With that vendor number, it gives us that, or gives me that chance for me to actually be able to get my sales and stuff totaled up by the end of the month really fast for the vendors, because I try to make sure that I go ahead and get everything totaled up in a reasonable amount of time so that I can cut those checks to those vendors. So you want to make sure that your items are tagged correctly with removable tags. So I don't like the stickers because with stickers, then you have to try to place them onto paper and that kind of thing, and sometimes they'll get sometimes the papers will curl up, they'll be all disheveled or whatever. With removable tags, and what I mean by removable tags is the tags with the strings attached to them. Those items those tags like that, you could actually put them onto your items, even if you have to use some Scotch tape in order to actually put it onto your item. Or if you can just use the string part and just loop it around a certain part of your item, it would help tremendously to that vendor seller so that it makes it easier for them to total it up at the end of the month also, so that they don't have to be trying to pull stickers, trying to count paper in their process of totaling up your sales. Those are a few tips. I hope everybody enjoyed those few tips. There will be more coming. There will be more wonderful, talented, amazing artists that we'll be putting on here. And I just hope that you remember one thing. Come to In-N-Out, where you just might find something you can't live without.